Cool. All
Nice.
right. We're back with another episode of About Crypto, which is the best stream video show in crypto, no matter what anyone says. And we're only a few episodes in. So we have Dylan Grabowski here. He's an editor at Neo News Today. How's it going, man?
Good, dude. I'm really psyched to be on here. I love what you're doing.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm trying my best.
Yeah, man, you're doing.
Yeah, the big doing. So my first question for you to start this off is, how did you get into crypto?
I used to be an urban planner and I worked for the state of California. And if you can imagine what government work is like, it's really boring and nothing is ever due like that day. So I would just get kind of like lost and bored at work, and I got tired of investing or researching about investing in index funds, and everybody said that Bitcoin was a scam. So I was like, well, why did they say that? And I realized that anyone who said that didn't take any time to look into it or into any other cryptocurrencies. And they were just kind of like repeating things that they heard. And the more I read, the more I fell down the rabbit hole. And I just started reading about Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other different types of blockchain projects, and just started buying them in 2017 and got caught up in the hype and thought that it was just like one of the craziest things that was ever happening in Q4 during that bull run. And, it was one of those stories where, I came for the money and I stayed for the tech. So we're still here, 2.5 years later, and now I'm working full time in crypto. And I left that career as an urban planner in 2018 and haven't looked back since.
Dude, that's really cool. So you just bounced. You're like, I'm going to do this full time. Screw it.
Yeah, man. I had an opportunity to start writing for the website I write for now. And I kind of like transitioned out of urban planning and kept writing more and more on my weekends and weeknights. And then we were able to negotiate a pretty sweet deal with the Neo blockchain founders to fund our website and to fund our team so that we could, three of us and a few others could go full time and do this.
Dude, good for you, man. That's a good story.
Yeah, man, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. You hear like a lot of people like, I got scammed, I lost my house, and now, you know what, I'm kind of just banking on Bitcoin going to 100K. I'm like, damn, that's really ballsy. That's super ballsy.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it's been all roses. I like to say that the amount I've lost in crypto through scams and just losing in general is like the equivalent of a graduate's degree. But I feel like through all those lessons learned, I really kind of earned my place in this industry. And even despite all that bad stuff, I mean, there's just so much more upside and there's so much more good that this technology can do that I'm still psyched even after all the good and the bad.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So what are you doing in crypto right now?
Well, so our website, neonewstoday.com, focuses solely on one cryptocurrency and blockchain project. It's Neo. When I was doing all my research, I wanted to be a master of one as opposed to a jack of all trades. So I really doubled down on researching on Neo. And I kind of like got my foot in the door by kind of correcting misinformation on Reddit and carried that over into what we're doing now. And so today I'm an editor on the website. So I cover any news that comes out about either the core protocol development or people in the ecosystem who are doing events or even projects that instead of building on top of Ethereum, they built on Neo. We cover them. So I write articles, and whenever we have new people come onto the team, I also edit their work to make sure that the tone is proper for what we're trying to do, which is be objective, fact-based, and non-sensational. And then on top of that, I also host a podcast, which we release an episode twice a month. And we get to, by doing that, I just get to talk to anyone who's tangentially related to Neo at all. If you're an exchange that lists Neo, if you're building a project on it, or if you're working for some sort of entity that is looking on how, like the Interwork Alliance. I'm talking to one of these guys tomorrow, and they're trying to create like a broad token standard for enterprises to adopt more easily. So anybody who's kind of just like somehow related to the ecosystem we talk to. And then other than writing and being a podcast host, I also am a local evangelist in the Colorado blockchain community here. So before the pandemic was going on, I was hosting monthly meetups to just kind of like hang out, offer a forum for people who are building on Neo to come and talk to the community, or even just like go grab beers and talk about blockchain in general for a couple hours, which is also super awesome.
That is awesome, man. And how are the turnouts at the meetups?
Yeah, I mean, so we get like maybe my smallest meetup, like for just like, hey, let's go to a bar and have some beers. We get like 10 people on the regular. But these are all interest levels. It's not just like Neo diehards or anything like that. But we had a really cool event last year where we had an Ethereum developer and myself and this other guy who hosts an EOS podcast. We had a panel where we all just stood on the front on the front stage and just kind of like talked about the goods and the bads of our blockchain projects. And we probably had like 60 people show up to that, which was like really cool, especially like at the tail end of a bear market.
That is cool. And it's also interesting that you were all on stage at the same time, and seems like it was pretty cordial. You know, you get to actually talk about it instead of just slinging insults.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of like jabbed a little bit, and like one guy talked a little more than the other too. But other than that, it's cool, man. I mean, like, I am a proponent for like having all boats rise together. So I actually get really mad at sort of maximalism and people really like leaning into their tribe. You know, we all want our projects to make more money, but like that doesn't mean that we can't be psyched for what else is happening out there, you know, because I think if blockchain is going to succeed, it's not just going to be one or the other. It's going to be a lot of different projects that kind of like specialize in different areas. And I don't see why there shouldn't be support, you know, for everybody who's working in whatever facet of this industry.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the good things is no one really touches base on this, but it's an inclusive industry. You could be from any background doing whatever and still have a place, which is pretty unheard of nowadays. So I like that.
For
part.
sure. I mean, like, there's no like masters in crypto industry or blockchain. I mean, like some made up person who's we don't even know who they are, created this protocol in Bitcoin like 11 years ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, even if you're willing to do the work and you're willing to like research and learn what you don't know and be extremely humble and being wrong a lot and correcting yourself, I feel like, you know, I feel like anybody can succeed as long as they're willing to kind of like find the truth and admit when they're wrong and try and convey that as, you know, adequately as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's so many narratives thrown around of what Bitcoin can be, why it's here, X, Y, and Z. But I mean, there is no CEO. The founder bounced.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, yeah, he's gone. They're gone, you know, and like now we have this fake internet money to talk about, and like people are super passionate about it. And since it's such a nascent industry, like if you have any brains at all and you really want to like nail down what's going on, you can carve your way out somewhere on either by content creating or becoming a developer or I don't even know. I mean, there's just so many opportunities right now because you can become an expert in something that's so new, like relatively quickly.
Absolutely, man. You know, from content creation to being a dev to really being anything, you have your spot here. Even if it's just drinking beer and talking shit online, I mean, you still have a spot, which is awesome.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're adding to just like the people who are aware, and you're increasing awareness.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So thanks again for coming on. I try to keep this as short as possible. You know?
I love it, man.
So where can people find you?
You can follow me personally on Twitter. My handle is at Grabowski Dylan, Grabowski Dylan. And if you're just interested at all into what's happening with Neo and you just want to learn a little bit, come over to www.neonewstoday.com. We exist to give objective, fact-based, non-sensational information, and we're not here to hype or shill anything. We just want to give the people the bare bones facts.
That's awesome, man. And thanks again, and everybody have a good day.